Hello everyone, and welcome back to another segment of the Prepping Channel. My name is Sarah, and today we're going to be talking about how to prep your children for a famine. So first we're going to start off with some statistics. 69% of adults in America are overweight or obese. So why does that statistic matter when it comes to your children? Generally in a household, the adults are the ones who provide all the food. Primarily, it's the mother that buys all the food in the house. So if she doesn't have any nutritional discipline, she's buying things like junk, snacks, cakes, all the Debbie snacks, then guess what? Usually that means if the parents are overweight, it is a high percentage that the children will also be overweight, if not now and later in life, based on the nutritional lessons that they've learned throughout their life from their parents. So some of the things we're going to go over today, we're going to talk about how to prep your children for a famine, to get them ready, and some great techniques you can use to start prepping your entire family. So the first thing is decrease your meals. I know everybody thinks that your children deserve the same portion size as an adult does, and this is completely not true. Children do not require the same amount of calorie intake as adults do. And when there's a famine, of course, that means there's a shortage of whatever supply there is, generally food. So how do you combat that? First thing you need to do, very helpful tip. Your children generally have a breakfast, a snack, a lunch, another snack, dinner, sometimes dessert, sometimes another snack. So that's about 5 or 6 times they're eating a day. That's not necessary for them to eat that many times a day, especially when you're trying to prep them for in a predicament where they're going to have less food. So what you want to do is start to decrease the amount of food that they're having throughout the day. Take away one of those snacks. So maybe you have breakfast, lunch, and then you have a snack and then dinner. Then do that for about a week. Then what you want to do is move to the next week and remove another snack. So now you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then what you want to do, and this is how you can really train your entire family, not just your children, it works for everyone. Start to make the times that you eat breakfast and lunch a little bit later. So instead of eating breakfast maybe at 9 o'clock, you eat breakfast maybe at 10 or 11. Then instead of eating lunch at the typical noon or 11:30 that normal people eat lunch at about 2:30. And what it does is it provides a longer sustainment of time throughout the day, so they're not feeling as hungry, and you're able to actually prep them properly for when a famine comes. So what you have done is decrease not only the portion size that they're receiving, but also the amount of times they're eating per day. As an adult, of course, we can really survive eating once a day, and that's really the where we need to guide and move to, so that we are able to also prep ourselves for a famine. But this video is not about adults, it's about your children. Okay, so the next thing is, let's talk about portion sizes. Your children, generally a rule in my husband's home is we do not do any seconds. So the portion that I give my children when they eat the first time, that is what they get. As soon as they say we want seconds or can I have more, the exact thing I say to them is what I gave you was sufficient for you. And I even ask them, what do I say? And so they already know. And it's a good rule to work with. There's no reason to give seconds if you're giving the adequate and proper portion sizes the first time. When you start getting seconds as a habitual thing, what you're doing is creating a gluttonous type of attitude, type of spirit that rouses up in your children, unbeknownst to you, but you start to see it more and more later. And it's just because the American culture is always, let's have more, let's have bigger plates. If you're eating out as a family, it's a great tip to do. Soon as we go out to eat, I always ask immediately with the food for a to-go box. And I portion out exactly what not only my family needs, but also my children. Not only the adults, but the children in the family. I portion out everybody's portion and put it in the to-go box. And then we either put it on the chair or we put it away from where we're eating. And that way, what you have in front of you is what is appropriate for you to eat at that time. Because generally, when you go out to eat, you get large portions of food that are really a good size for 2 or 3 helpings of food. So to help you and help everyone stay on target with making sure you're prepping yourself, even when you're enjoying yourself out, It is a great technique and a great tip to use. The next thing, stop giving your children juice. If you are prepping for a famine, if you are stocking up on juice, shame on you. You should be stocking up on water, because that is what is supposed to be sustaining you, especially as you eat less and you need to have more energy while you're doing more things, still sustaining the same lifestyle, but eating less. You should not be stocking up on juicy juice. You should not be stocking up on Capri Suns and all the lemonades and the high fructose corn syrup. Those things should be completely eliminated from your diet. And I understand that it's going to be difficult, but it needs to be a gradual decrease. A lot of children, they drink so much juice, they become addicted to juice. So another rule in my husband's home, my children do not drink juice at all. The only time they get juice is once a month during a special days that we have that come up, or special holy days that we honor. That's the only time my children get juice. Other than that, it's water, water, water. And that way, it's already embedded in them. Something that is going to be nutritional for them, something that's life-sustaining, it's already there. If you want to know if your child is addicted to juice, or maybe you're like, oh, what she's saying just doesn't make any sense. This can't be me. No. Go ahead and take juice away from your child for a whole week. Give them nothing but water. Don't say anything. Just give them nothing but water. If your child throws a fit after day 2, that's your sign that they are addicted to the juice that you buy. So prep yourself and start to wean them off of that high calorie fructose corn syrup and all the other juices, even the 100% natural juices. Start to wean them off of those things and get them focused on water. The next thing is ensure they're busy throughout the day. So let me tell you, if you are not prepping your children now for a famine, what's going to happen when you start to you lose the nutritional values that your body needs in order to sustain. So you deprive your body of food, you deprive your body of water over a systemic period of time, and it's not going to be something that you can help. It's just going to be, we're in a famine mode. There's going to be less of it. Therefore, your body's going to get deprived. When that starts to happen, you get extremely irritable, more so than ever, right? You already know. So I'm sure everybody has experienced this. When you are hungry, you get so irritated. After like a few hours, you're like, I need food. You get just crazy. Most of the time, it's women that do this, right? So, and it's just a running joke to make sure, let's hurry up and feed him or her, whoever's hungry, right? The last thing you want in the middle of a famine is for you to already be deprived of nutrition and nutrients yourself, and you are already irritated. You're already kind of irrational because your brain is not functioning in the same clarity because you probably haven't prepped yourself. And then on top of that, you have a child or children in your ear screaming, Mommy, we're so hungry. We're so hungry. What are we going to eat for dinner? How come there's not enough food? And at that moment, you're trying to explain a famine to them. That is not the time nor the place to do that. If you prep in advance, then you will not have that issue. Your children will already understand vernacular such as what a famine is. Explain it to them. You know, when they come and say, Mommy, I'm hungry, as you start taking away those foods, you say, well, we're getting ready for a famine. Or, oh, I'm sorry, baby, we're in a famine. And explain to them what a famine is. Explain to them why there is a decrease in food so that they rationally understand. I think we don't give our children enough credit on how intelligent they are, and we tend to explain less and tell them to do more, when really it's okay in instances like this for you to explain and let your children know what's going on. Prep their minds while you're prepping yours. What happens is, when you get to that stage now, if you've prepped along the way, your children are used to these small portions, they're used to eating less. When it comes time for that famine, it is like second nature. It is seamless to your family. And even if there is a decrease in portion sizes, when you use terms like, I'm sorry, baby, it's a famine, there is not an outrageous reaction because they've already been conditioned to what that word means, what it means in the state that we're in, and how do we work through it as a family. Make sure that everybody is involved in this process. Make sure that your children are engaged. They understand what's going on in the world. Don't shield them. Don't hide them. Let them know what's going on in the news so that they can also just prepare themselves. Stock up on nutritional things for your family. Stock up on things that are not only nutritional, but are going to fill and last for a long time. A lot of people are stocking up, on the grains and the rices and the flours, and those things are great. Do not sleep on the protein shakes. I'm just going to say it. Do not sleep on the protein. Those replacement meal shakes, those things like that, they are very filling, and a lot of them do provide a good amount of the nutrition that's needed. So at least if you need to substitute that for a meal throughout the time that you go through a famine, you can have that, and they're inexpensive in relation to maybe like the flour and all the other things that you're stocking up. So include that in your stock so it's a nice nutritious meal that they're getting, and all you got to do is add water. So nothing else is required for you to stock up on, right? Because you should already be stocking up on water. And last but not least, as after every video, I always say, watch your attitude. So especially if you're a mother in the house, your attitude, how you perceive everything to be, that is how your children just innately start to feed off of your energy. If you are just calm, cool, and collected, this is everyday thing to you. You're not irritable because you have already been prepping yourself. You're not irrational because, again, you have already went through the stages of this is the time my child will act out. I need to make sure food is available at this time. You have already designed and figured out what works for your family. It's going to be so much easier for you to stay in a calm and peaceful spirit. It's so much easier for you to have a happy and joyful time. And so that your children almost are kind of like in a bubble. They really don't even know what's going on in the outside world, because at home there's peace. It's not chaos. It's not, oh my God, we're in a famine, because this time that you've taken to prep is what's going to be beneficial. So remember to always prep. Make sure that you're subscribing. Make sure that you're pushing the notification button on that screen so that you know when new prepping videos come out that will be beneficial to you and your family, to help you, not only the adults in your family, but also the children. So thank you again for watching the Prepping Channel. I hope you all have learned something. And again, don't forget to subscribe. Bye.